Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you very much for your patience. We are indeed into the action. Nuke, our first map. We had just left off at the break there saying that we were perhaps a little tentative about this map just because Monte, they've got some decent experience on it recently, and it is a map that they like to play. And then the big thing is that that second map of Anubis feels like it should be unlosable for Monte. forZe going to have to really step up here, and not a bad way to kick things off. Two very fast frags will net them in towards this A-bomb site. There is now a lack of defense over here. It is a snake on the way from Monte. They've actually dropped down towards B to just continue to add to the confusion. Looking good on the man advantage.
It's the old cinnamon swirl strategy. Just basically going everywhere. We're going to find one of his own. Gokushima, the new boy on the block. Not a great start, though. 0-1. He finds himself in the pistol. This retake technically on. Versus 3. First fight being taken by Krad. He will forward it on to DemQQ.
That's big. It is big. Oh, looking good for Result, though. He's in the right position at the right time to find the final two heads. Lovely stuff to finish it off. That was a little dicey for a moment, right? The CTs did a decent job, I think, of coming back in, finding a few nice headshots on the retake, but maybe just too steep of the hill to climb from the word go. So forZe starting off very well. I think they'll be in a great position now. What is the move from Monte? It seems like they are going to force, which is kind of a rarity. Not a lot of teams doing this.
I don't know if I'm a huge fan of it. You know, I wasn't really into Go, but especially in CS2, these are kind of MR13, MR12 kind of time to find ourselves in. It is risky. It's so risky. You lose this, not only then forZe go 2-0 up, they basically get gifted a third for free. Look at the space they've got already. Result's going to find the opener, DemQQ for the trade. Down towards B, they've got all this room to work with, and the bomb will get planted for free.
Yep, easily done. Probably just save what you have, to be honest, if you are Monte, right? You've got Bro, you've got SDY sticking around, but not necessarily committing into a fight. Oh, okay, here we go. A few kills come in the way of that CT side, always good. Do some damage, drop some rifles in particular. And they're actually thinking about giving it a bit of a go, to be honest, which is not an awful call. The time is just starting to get away from them. I don't think they have a kit available, unfortunately, but the amount of damage that they have done here is pretty substantial. I think they will be very, very happy with that. Leaving only one forZe player remaining, so a lot of pressure on the forZe economy because of that round.
I think all things considered, you can take a somewhat silver lining away from that. But the main thing is, though, forZe now got 2-0 up. They know that Monte can't reforce in towards the next round. If they did, it wouldn't really be able to bring anything miraculous to the round. So forZe understand they've got a prime opportunity to potentially, I was going to say, go 3-0 up without any sort of competition. But Waro dropped over his scout, then picked up an M4. So he is still force buying in here. It's quite risky. Big thing being, if he does fall, they basically got to try as best they can to save a scout tag on towards Krad. But Spire takes a chunk of damage himself. Waro will find the first through the smoke.
I like it. I like it. Bit of aggression, bit of confidence, you know? You never know how far it might take you. M4 does go down. Felt like a few of those bullets were awfully close from Waro, but unfortunately not. No one around to recover that M4 is the sad thing. SDY on somewhat of a crack angle. They'll run boost over so that there is a nice easy peek for Result, but he's not holding out in the open, right? He's playing it a bit smart, making sure not to give his life away. forZe, you can see, kind of nervous, aren't they? They don't really know what they're up against now that an M4 was in the mix. Very confused, I think, and, well, the confusion is working out quite well, trying to overwhelm them outside here. It works for one, but it does not hold the line. A lot of damage done. Scout could be deadly if it finds the right shots, but the round itself looks pretty good for forZe there. Smart, moving down towards B.
Tag and bag, right? It's actually kind of working. I think, realistically, if you're Monte in this position, you have to give this a go. You know you've done a little bit of damage. You know as well, you're going to buy into an extra. God, DemQQ's going to find Gokushima. That's not an AK to work with on a retake, and actually a very doable retake. Just dicey. First default is SDY, but he's just cannon fodder. He's bait. DemQQ's on 1 versus 1.
Very quickly. Very, very quickly. I don't think we really expected it to get this close. He gives his position away, makes a lot of noise. Going to shoot the glass here as well. It's a nice Molotov. Oh, he's going to know that Tinner is down there. However, a quick reposition coming in from the T player. Somehow still alive. Another opportunity to try and find the head himself, but DemQQ is looking good here, putting the pressure on, closing the gap and taking him down. 14 HP makes the difference. Oh, he couldn't find the bomb though now. He couldn't find the bomb. He went to the default spot and it wasn't there. The 10-second timer goes past and he's fluffed the round.
He might not survive here. Yeah.
Wow.
That extended bomb radius is brutal, to say the least. You take about, I think, off the top of my head, about 24, 25 points of damage over in that back corner secret. It's a good attempt by Monte, considering what they brought to the table. Actually, very unfortunate not to walk away with the round. forZe going to start things off 3-0. But these last couple of rounds have been extremely expensive. One surviving, then none surviving. You can kind of understand why forZe are going to go in for a pause there. They need a little conversation. These rounds are a lot harder than they should be, considering the weaponry of what Monte are bringing to the table. I was 1 rifle, 1 scan, a few pistols. I mean, very, very nearly won the round. If you had a kit, if you got on the bomb immediately, if you'd been able to spot it as he was dropping off railings, yeah, it would have been a different story. But benefit of hindsight, we know that's not the case. 3-0. Now Monte into a bye. M4's across the board. A good chunk of YouTube. Even for the likes of forZe, yes, they can fall by in, but it is actually the best. They got double Galil to speak of in the hands of kRaSnaL. He's going to make it slightly harder.
All right, let's see here. Obviously had a bit of time in between rounds to really work this one over. Monte wanting to make their presence known. They were so damn close in the previous, but it's a tough one. Flashes come round. Bro pushed down quite aggressively, actually. Not going to stick around at all. So a lot of space for forZe, just off the back of 1 flash.
It's quite nice, actually, because now they can just start to play the mind games against Monte. I think Monte, for them, have to fall back towards side. They have to be so wary of kind of a flank coming through in towards Hell, or, of course, what is the most standard thing is committing down towards B. Bro doubles away over towards window. That would have been heard. You're going to come through as well. So now all the commitment being made here. Gokashima leading the charge out on towards B.
Sure, making their way forwards. It's Crad on the backside, though, that catches a couple of the rotators. Really going to make a difference into this post plant. Awkward little spray down. Bro can't get it done with the USP. That should be that. The last 2 CTs too far away from the action. So forZe looking damn solid in this round. That is for sure a great response after the mess up of the previous.
And considering this one's against a full buy as well, it actually means all the more. Really well done. Really nicely played. It's quite simple in what their kind of their play style. It was a call out of spawn, right? Let's just take ramp. Let's see what we can do once we've got that top ramp control, and all things go well. Tinner, he will survive from here. He has just about enough HP to speak of. But yeah, when we look at it, 4-0. Monte, thankfully, gets lost bonus, allows them to buy back in. And of course, 2 remaining alive means they can drop over. I wouldn't mind Monte going into a pause at some point, bringing in kind of LMBT in towards the conversation. Definitely is a much shakier CT side than we probably would have expected, but you can also understand why forZe are picked in towards this map now. They look very, very solid.
Maybe a map that they've been able to work on really quick, right? Since adding in these new parts. Beautiful double nade. Not a frag, but certainly close enough. And with all that A presence, they have drawn some attention away. Crad has managed to get down below here. SDY ready, but loses the fight. There it is. That famous, maybe infamous Pika's advantage really helping him out there, I would imagine.
All good. Attack quiet off the back of it as well. Opening kill. forZe now. Just call a freeze. Damage being dealt towards kRaSnaL as well. So now both Warrow and kRaSnaL are low. Bro has to win up this fight on towards Tinner. Here's the steps falling away. Flashing towards the corner. He's trying to find fights as best he can. With DemQQ falling, Bros are the only one with HP left alive.
Here we go. Into the back of the site. Easy take. That'll be that, bro. Yeah. Up the ladder and then back down the ladder. Nothing he can really do from there. Just try and stay alive now. Crad goes down. Oh, kind of confirms his position. I don't know if... I'm a big fan of moving in towards CT. What else are you going to do? I guess, but like... Surely this is the first place they look.
Yeah, he's going to be hunted there, surely. I think if you are forZe, it's worthwhile going for a hunt. Just making sure they have nothing to speak of in towards the round next. But it does look like they're playing this a little bit more passive than I maybe expect. I don't know whether they were hoping kind of Bro would continue to fight on his way out. Isn't to be. forZe 5-0. I don't think we really expected this level of a dominant start. Yes, it is forZe's map pick. This is the T side of Nuke after all. They're looking really, really solid. This is the perfect start for the forZe side. Not only in the sense that they're 5-0 up, but just looking dominant. Monte aren't really scratching the surface right now in the server. It is starting to have a pretty negative effect overall. Both these two sides have played Nuke 9 times in the last 2 months. Of course, quite a few of those officials would have been back on Go. forZe hold ever so slightly a better win rate, but like you said, coming in towards this series and coming in towards this map specifically, it's not a bad map for Monte. They like playing it. They're happy to play it. And one of those maps that actually get a bit of a go-to float for them. So far, so successful. Gokushima in towards his favorite AWP. Granted, quite difficult on CS2 the AWP, but this guy could make it work. Like that.
Oh, lovely. Great opener. Yeah, and I think it's going to make life very difficult for Monte, isn't it? The fact that they've worked around a little bit of a buy. I suppose they will be able to buy into the next, right? They're on the max loss bonus now. Nice read here from Result. Oh, finds one. I thought he was going to go down there. That was such an awkward fight for him, but he manages to find a frag. What is going on here? SDY gifted a kill. Gokushima around the corner with the AWP. It's the next to fall. The Mag 7 is doing it all here. Man advantage secured. Bomb secured as well. What more can the demon down below get done? Oh my goodness. They are so scared to go around that corner right now. And the bomb just spills into the perfect spot. Crossfire set up. Round secured. Shalfie all alone. And he will be flanked out easily. What a hold from the Mag 7.
Of all the rounds for them to take, I think it's safe to say we didn't expect it to be that one. A Mag 7 doing God's work down below. So now, Monte, a lifeline extended a little bit. Of course, upgrades to be collected too. Warrow for the AWP to speak of, the corpse of Gokushima, and of course, a decent amount of AKs collected. Isn't bad for Monte. 2 AKs, 2 M4s, and the AWP, and a whole host of util. Monte prime pole position. Find a second and start a little bit of a run of form for them. forZe hoping to answer back, and Rest already got a lot of space.
Looks good. Warrow, DemQQ gonna hold. Thought they got in quickly, but this time around the guns are looking very good from Monte, right? This is something that they have lacked, the ability to fight back, but with winning that one round, it looks like they have refound their confidence. This is great.
It is. It's good work. Just go a little bit quiet off the initial points of contact. forZe now left scratching their heads a little bit. How do we find our way back into this? I don't know whether they're going to be given that luxury. Shalfie 0-5 so far. One of the more prominent players on this team. Unfortunately, struggling early in towards this game.
Run boost. No one. So it's all good. They make it across. Not completely scot-free though. They have been slightly noticed, so there might be some presence down below in just a moment here. Picking up the pace, feeling confident towards this B bomb site though, despite only being now down to 2. Taking their time, but making an awful lot of noise. Gokushima goes in fast, getting this bomb plant. They are really aggressive considering the fact that there's not a lot of presence, not a lot of manpower at this point. Dink landing onto Gokushima surely going to solidify the fact here. Crad has to go massive. He's trying to take a bit of an off angle. Oh my goodness, 2 quick headshots from Crad. Has opened his back up. They needed one more player to help out, and they might have been able to get that done, but goodness, for a moment, we all believed.
Closer than they probably would have hoped for. Kit to speak of, so of course they can go looking for upgrading the weaponry, but with an open AK, you really can't get too much better. Nice second on the board from Monte. Nice start to Resurgence. Honestly, start is only 2 in a row, but better than nothing. Question, of course, now from over towards forZe. They don't really have the funds to work with. So a half buy is the decision. Dokushima going to keep the bulk of his funds. So, of course, he can have the AWP in towards the round next. This is a bit of a freebie, bit of a throwaway. Should be a relatively simple third on the board. But you always have to leave a little caveat. These pistols sometimes are pretty deadly in CS2, man.
Yes, very true. Very, very true. Again, with the sort of aggressive swings that you're able to take. Warrior going to open. I think they are acutely aware of the presence down below. kRaSnaL with an easy hold. Any more for him? Perhaps. Yeah, looking good here. He actually gets a double spray down there. So 3 kills in total for kRaSnaL from the lower stairs. Very well held, very well done. Monte starting to close this gap.
We're getting a little bit closer than initially anticipated, especially with how well forZe had started. Of course, that was a little bit of a throwaway round. We don't really expect all too much from that one specifically. What AK 1M4 is all they got to work with. Even though Gokushima, you'd go for a lesser buy. It's how he over-invested. It doesn't give him the ability to go in towards the AWP. Hoping for maybe at least a bomb plant towards the round prior. That would have funded that orb. Breaking the smoke. SDY spots nothing behind it, but spots the jump peak coming through. Gokushima falls straight from Xiaofi as Tinner gonna add 1 to the tally.
Result. Good position for him here. Or if he just waited a second longer, he might have had the drop on bro. Solidify the round. Still, he feels like he's in a very good spot, especially if the boys can make it down secret cleanly, which we know they will. Might even be a look to save once this bomb goes down, to be honest. Tinner holding secret. Yeah, I don't really know how they pull off this retake with the outside control and the ramp control. Like, where do you go? Down the vent? But that makes a lot of noise, really. So just a save angle.
I don't blame him. In a way, I think that's probably the right call. Nearly gets made a little bit more expensive. Might still do so, because Crad is sticking around. Bro will fall. Of course, he will fall away just to make sure that he stays alive. Warrow keeps the AWP alive. That's priority number 1 in that save. It's going to be forZe back into the winning ways. Of course, forZe on the T side of Nuke, guaranteeing that at the bare minimum it's a tied game at the half. I think you can take a lot of silver linings away from that kind of statistic specifically. This is a really nice start from forZe. They're looking like a solid side. They're just playing confident. And that's all that's required for them to put Monte back into place. They're essentially fighting fire with fire. This has been kind of the bread and butter of Monte. This quite chaotic play style, relying on individuals who are crisp as they come. It's obviously working absolute wonders right now.
A lot of noise in the early stages of round number 10. Really not a lot of movement, though, is the big thing. Not a lot of space being taken. No frags as yet. Just in the lobby. forZe trying to spam away, I think, and set up for the moves later on into the round. Little flash on towards A there for a cheeky peek, but again, nothing presenting. Really, really important round in terms of the swing of this half, it feels like.
It's going quiet off the initial space created too. I think for forZe, they realize don't need to do anything too drastic right now. waiting for a bit of util. Nothing being offered up. Double stacking towards deep A here. Crossfire is very solid indeed. Not come in just yet, but it looks like they want to finish A.
SDY. Pretty good angle for him here as the smoke starts to go down. Oh, look at the damage that he's doing. He's unable to find the kills, but so much damage coming in. Will lose his head eventually, though. Is it enough? We'll find out. The nade finishes off Result. In come the rifles here from the CT side as well, and they will mow them all down. Goodness me. Look good for forZe, but they just couldn't get into the bomb site, right? They found a kill. They found some damage of their own, but they just couldn't get the space that they so desperately needed.
Man, forZe arguably playing a little bit too slow in that round. They're letting, I guess, Monte dictate the tempo of that round. And of course, with all the space that they had created already early, forZe were forced into a bit of a pincer. They wanted to finish over towards A, but they just get brutalized when they head in that direction. Speaking of brutal, that's the consideration when you look towards the buy. Double Galil, and look at they start. Shalfie down, a result to follow suit. Shalfie continues to have a rough game. 1-9 to start off Nuke.
Solid stuff here. Gokushima find another kill in this round. The first one for forZe, of course. What can they really do with it, though, right? They've lost so much control and presence in the early stages that it's going to be difficult to recover this one back. Bro with the perfect angle down below loses the next fight with the crossfire. Set up, DemQQ. Yeah, lovely. Just recognizes. Stay alive. Keep the control of the site. Keep that information. Gokushima, though, with a quick move up. Gonna fake things out. Not sure whether he needed to. A little panicky from him, perhaps, and kRaSnaL will take him down in the end.
It's a nice idea. He was assuming there was somebody close. They'd only heard information of 2 down towards B. He was just looking for that third player. Little did he know, it actually rotated all the way through lobby and towards ramp. He was actually too far away to even take a fight. While the idea is nice, unfortunately, the execution, not so much. Having that bomb plan actually would have been very beneficial over towards forZe, heading in towards this final round of the half. Just in the consideration that they don't really have anything to work with. 1 AK, 1 scalp. Couple of pistols. It's a buy that scrapes together off the back of a low economic situation for forZe. Monte, good opportunity for them to go 6-all at the half, which, with how they started, going 5-0 down, they take that all day.
Very, very slow here. Oh, lovely nade and a lovely finish by Waro. There's some of that CS2 goodness coming into play. Fantastic opener. And now a difficult spot for forZe, isn't it? Very, very low buy. Not really sure of where to go from here. Bro standing his ground, and much to his fault, he will go down. There is this ult round the corner in the form of SDY. Does well to find one, but has to give up the position ultimately. Still, down below, kRaSnaL has presence. This looks dangerous. Could find a couple here. Gonna get the first, gonna get the second. And Gokushima with an insurmountable task as he gets taken down. 6-6 in the end. Fantastic recovery from Monte. We'll see if they can continue that into the second half. All right, we're back in. We are back in. A fantastic recovery there from Monte. It really has to be said. 1 round from forZe in 7. So very well held, very well recovered, because it was looking like forZe were going to take over the half. Speaking of taking over, SDY is not playing any games into this pistol as he finds the first head with that P250. Loses his own, though, to Gokashima, the new blood on the server, trying to make his name known. Close to finding another, but not quite able to get it over the line. 4 versus 4 then, with the B bomb site looking vulnerable.
Place to work with. Oh, crowd sticking around to try and find a couple of headies. Struggling to do so, and Waro and kRaSnaL will combine. Tina, he's answering back, but this retake's going to be very difficult. And DemQQ just taking a little bit of attention with that Glock on burst fire.
A little bit weird here, isn't it? Some of the fights that are going on. DemQQ wins his, but his teammate loses out. Bit of pre-fire in, but oh, no heads found. The old tit for tat back and forth here between these two players. Tina down to 1 HP. Or does DemQQ know that he hit him? It looks like he does. He's trying to close the gap to find the frag, and he will. The lead snatched away by Monte.
Well played as well. Does he get the bomb off? He does. So a little bit of extra money in those pockets. Not a bad position to be in at all. Monte, once again, we have to recall off the back of going 0-5 down. Now find themselves 7-6. In terms of recovery, in terms of a run of form, it doesn't really get much better than this. And to kick out that T-side pistol round that effectively is really, really good. We are going to see forZe go for a force buy of their own. Again, this feels like such a risk. We saw how it affected Monte so negatively when they went for it. Feels like forZe have learned their lesson. 1 rifle to speak of in the hands of Xiaofi, the man who has been so quiet so far this game. Thankfully, finding his 2nd kill here, round number 14.
Result forced off the top of the hut. Not much this do down here with the 5-7. DemQQ trying to get that first head, but oh god, to be careful. Dink lands. It's minimal damage, thank goodness, but still enough to send a shock to the system.
DemQQ respecting the smoke here. Xiaofi might not, though. Waiting for something to offer up, but again, nothing really on the cards here. Xiaofi misses his opportunity. Gokashima shadow spotted too. Against the scout, can't quite connect. In towards the M4. This is looking doable for forZe.
That was maybe the big frag that could make a difference here. Oh, hold the phone though. The trades are good. The trades are very good. Out in the open, Waro is left, and yeah, not a chance there, right? 2 peeking at the same time. Nothing he could do. forZe in with the force buy win. And no bomb plant for Monte means they are really up the creek right now. Look at where the cash is, or rather isn't. So they have a lot of work cut out. A lot of work.
Gotta be said, 9 times out of 10, that force buy is rough. We saw exactly what happened when Monte went for it in the round prior. forZe finding, however, flips the conversation entirely. Now you look towards Monte. They have to go for a force of their own. That's just an absolute kind of age-old standard. forZe much better firepower to speak of. Double MP9, but against these pistols, especially with a lack of head armor on 3 out of 5, makes it all the more prevalent. Teammate comes through. Waro takes a tag. Outside control given up here, though. Xiaofi sticks around with the M4. And that's why. Oh, but he gets his head ripped off by DemQQ.
Alrighty. They are biting back on the Monte side of things, showing that they can also get it done with the pistols. So yeah, I think forZe backing off, playing safe, being careful themselves. We're in for a pretty tense second half, the way that it has been so close already. Bro, with the double kill, okay. I thought he was out here for a trade, but he finds a bang bang, a left right good night, and they are back in the round. Waro, lovely judgment here. Knows there's probably a player out towards heaven. Maybe he spotted the backside of him at some point. Can't quite see him, but also can't go up the ladder. 35 seconds left. They've got to make a move soon.
2 versus 2. Bomb plant needed, but bomb dropped, of course, as you mentioned. Does make this so rough. Double swinging towards heaven seems to be the plan, though. Craddock in, Craddock aware. Will he find the frags? The answer is yes for the first and for the second. So, a little bit more expensive than they would have hoped. Maybe a little bit closer than they would have expected to. But all things considered, forZe will reclaim a lead. Made to work for it. Finding it nonetheless, that's all that matters now. Monte, no funds to speak of. forZe should pull away by 2.
Scary. Very scary indeed. 4 nades and a deagle, but mainly 4 nades here for Monte. Where are these going? Where are these going? Ooh, all towards Mini. Nobody there, unfortunately. It's a lovely idea. You know, get the door blasting open, get the triple nade airstrike, but there was no one there. So just unlucky in the end. Not really expecting too much out from this round now then. As you said, forZe's going to stretch ahead by a couple of rounds.
Yeah, what now, right? I feel like if you're Monte in this position, we like to call him the age-old kind of attack without taking attack. Going towards that side. A bomb plot would be lovely here. Might be a luxury at range. Only one result. A consolation kill comes through from Warrow. But that'll be about that. Upgrade to the weaponry as well. Really good to see. So only the one investment needed. Actually, Gokashima gets dropped over. The Org, he drops it back and pick up the AWP. Very good position actually for forZe to be in. Much better buy to speak of in towards the next round. And they've got momentum in their sales. They're in a position we'd like to assume is pretty smooth sailing right now. This is a really, really nice run of form that we've had so far from forZe, kickstarting their CT side, which you'd expect on a map like Nuke, and of course, map pick as well. Monte in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, we maybe can argue at this point that Monte's start on that CT side was just not good enough, and it's now starting to cost them, right, as forZe have got their claws in here. You do have to give some credit to forZe, though. Fantastic force buy win from them, of course, which, regardless of which side you're on, is always a difficult thing to do. Tried with the off angle here. Big fan. Doesn't quite find the head, but his presence still going to be known and heard here. Sticking around. Oh, and the distraction from Shalfie is beautiful. A quiet game from him, maybe, but it's just a little thing sometimes. Nade going to go around. Sends a bit of fear into Monte and how they approach the next few moments. Down by 2 in less than a minute. Really not a good spot.
Space to work with, though, for Monte at the very least. Could head down towards B. There's 2 players in the vicinity. One towards site, one towards single door. I guess that single door player of Gokashima doesn't really need to show face unless Karate gets tested. Thing coming out. Nice peek, nice find. Looks for more as well. Only one result for Gokashima. Frags to his name, too. kRaSnaL so low on HP, surely no chance. Makes a good effort of it. A little bit of a double, but he will be traded. forZe the first side to crack double digits. 3 rounds ahead of Monte. Of course, 3 rounds away now. Taking their map pick.
Seems to have come about quite quickly as well. Like I said, it felt like we were in for kind of a tense beginning to this half, but forZe have actually proved me wrong. They've actually grown the gap quite quickly and quite massively is the thing. So not looking good for Monte. We felt like forZe really needed this one for survival. You can see off in the top right there that Anubis is coming up next, and we have about a 70% win rate across 30 maps played for Monte, which is just mental. Absolutely mental. What is that, like 25 wins out of 30?
Yeah.
Something close to that, isn't it? So
along those lines, man.
Really, really, really scary map, and forZe definitely needed to pick this one up to stay alive and not go down to the 2-0.
I think it's safe to say, I mean, right now at the moment, for Monte, it feels like their chances are getting slimmer and slimmer. And again, a little bit, arguably, of an overinvestment. You look at kRaSnaL in towards AK-47. It's a hero AK, but even still feels risky, especially because Shalfie's playing so damn confident. They'll come over. Not even attempting to break the smoke. They're just trying to find a chunk of damage through it. And a huge gap. That third smoke didn't make it. You can see actually it bounced on towards top main. So now they know they can't cross onto a secret. That's a big error. Monte in this position. And Shalfie can upon it. She gets traded out, but he goes for 2. So that's arguably enough. Waro, though, does find 1.
We'll see. DemQQ especially, could have crept in, but Result, little bit fishy, he thought. Gave it a look, gave it a reposition, and a big frag found from him, making sure he doesn't get sideswiped there on the A-bomb site. So, not going to happen for Bro, you would argue. Yeah, close to a headshot. Unfortunately, not close enough. So, a couple more to go, and forZe will have taken this in relatively clean fashion. One of our final buys, perhaps, for the Monte boys, unless, similar to the first half, they can turn their act around.
Yeah, I mean, let's see, man. I mean, right now, as I say, forZe have just looked overall at the better side. We probably even could have been talking about the map being done here if they didn't take such a tail off in form. In that first half, we were a 5-0 start. The way they were panning out, kind of 7 to 8 rounds, felt like kind of a bare minimum scenario for them. They lose a little bit of form, and of course, allowed Monte back in towards this game, but I've reclaimed all of that ground, all of that mileage here on that CT side. kRaSnaL back in towards the AWP, won't really be tested at range, bar SDY and a Krieg, but even then, shouldn't be feared all too much. Crad has been successful once before. The great volley sticks around, finds a kill on Trader 2. Really nicely done.
Solid stuff. Very solid stuff indeed. Crad's actually looked great for me. Definitely an interesting one, maybe just because we've had such a change in kind of leadership and direction for forZe, but I never really felt like he needed removing from the team necessarily.
I agree.
I think they maybe just wanted to give some of their younger guys a go. Might have been a personality thing. Not too sure. He does go down, singing his praises for just a moment. That was maybe a bit overconfident. Does come close to taking out kRaSnaL. However, they've dropped control of the B ramp, which is a pretty important area. There is presence down below, but it's only kRaSnaL with an AWP. There's not an awful lot he can do against the barrage of players, especially after he misses his first shot. Going to try for a reposition. Misses again. Oh, and then lands a ridiculous flick. Of course, they were too easy. That's why he was missing. Goodness gracious me. 3 remaining for Monte. 15 seconds. This is not going to be easy.
Will they even get the bomb down, is the question. Well, Bro SDY got the right idea. Back turn for Waro. He is holding on the angle. He had the right idea. Falls flat. kRaSnaL gets caught napping a little bit. Doesn't clear bracket. V2 for Shalfie, but I do want to add that Bro is 2 points of HP.
Not looking good, but Bro will get it done on the low HP, man. Oh my goodness. Surviving a little while longer. Absolutely massive moment. You can see there were a few hurrahs, I think, after winning that one. Really, really close in the end. They will take it over the line. And yeah, it comes at quite a good time. They've not fully broken the bank of forZe, but putting them in a difficult spot now. kRaSnaL on the glass cannon, AWP, and you can see all the M4s. Not an awful lot of utility. So this could get interesting.
Game's still on, most definitely for Monte. Goes forZe back into a bite relatively comfortably. Waro's trying to bait out a fight here. Smoke towards top main gives him some room to work with. Oh, like spotted. kRaSnaL there, he had no clue. It's a right eye peek for Waro. Left eye for kRaSnaL. Only one person's winning that. Same for DemQQ as he finds Shalfie in lobby.
Crad in a weird spot here out at credit card. He's not going to get checked. Oh, and the trigger discipline. No! Crad! Oh, goodness. That could have been the round. Unfortunately, it's now Tinner left all alone. He's trying to find all three outside. He comes so damn close, but it's not enough in the end. So, Monte, again, finding a resurgence towards the tail end of the action of the half, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. But obviously, it's the tail end of the game here is the big thing. It's taken them a lot of time to get going, but once they have, they look pretty good. They're going to break the bank of forZe, and man alive, this next rifle round, so much weight, so much importance.
It'll start to get pretty spicy. 2 rounds in it. Well, it's still 2 rounds away, but economy shattered here, so no real chance in hell. Look at this. Quad stack, shift walking, or quintuple stack even, shift walking over towards that vent position. I don't really know what the plan is here before. So you can kind of see Monte trying to poke and prod all over the map and absolutely have just no clue where anyone is. You can tell they're very scared of just a random 5 stack, a random stack somewhere where maybe they can pick themselves up a rifle. I still feel like Monte should do enough to get a bomb plant. forZe are hearing all of the sounds here. I don't think they really have the firepower to work with in terms of denying it.
Yeah, now they're on the wrong side of the map, aren't they, really? The search party has gone out on towards this A-bomb site. Bomb will probably join them shortly. No one around. It's a B stack. They've figured that out now, and the bomb will go down momentarily. So no sweat off the Monte brow. Just a case of keeping the guns alive, I suppose, and forZe might not even give them the opportunity for a fight. We'll see.
It's one of those ones where there's an argument maybe to be made of like, do you just give it a go because you're not really investing anything into this? But I guess on the other side too, it's saving the KD, not giving her over any kind of a kill bonus of the sort. Kind of understand that sort of mindset. We're going to find one. Ballistic. Oh, okay. It did look a little scrappy. Crad does get a consolation, but it won't really make too much of a difference. So, 10-11, cracking into double digits themselves now. Monte making a really good little run here. Actually, a very respectable run, it has to be said. This is what it's all about now. Consistency being found out from the Monte side, and forZe in a position where I think it's safe to say they're worried. Lose this round, and in the run of form, of course, that Monte been having, it would be dire. Economy would be broken once again. Monte would have tied the game up and in prime pole position to take a 12-11 lead in the dying embers. forZe's map pick.
All right, heating up. Here we go. Big round. Starts off a little quiet, an interesting kind of move to get the player on top of Mini there with the smoke down on top of the hut. So they've got some outside presence. What are they going to do with that on the Monte side of things is the big question, Shalfie. Work his way around. It's dangerous showing your head like that. They'll take out SDY at the very least as an even trade, but now they know Gokushima is in the garage. It's very difficult for him to get out, you know? warRo will take him out. kRaSnaL has really closed the gap here, really got some good space to work with. He does fall, however. Result is traded. 3 versus 2. Kills galore. Monte with the control.
Was clear. A warRo on a trade. That is quick. Molotov towards Evan. Bomb will be planted. Nice and open too. Does he know where Crad's coming from? He seems to have an idea.
Oh, here's him, spots him and finds him. Easy for warRo. Massive clutch once again on the Monte side of things. It was a clutch that got them into this streak, and it's a clutch that keeps them in it as well. Looking very, very scary for forZe then, as the map is slipping through their fingers right now. They've got a half buy. They've got to eco this one out, really.
Yeah.
There's not much they can do here, so it looks like we're playing for overtime.
Man, forZe will let it slip. They let it slip once before in the first half, and the exact repeat is now happening. at the tail end of this map. He said Monte don't mind it, but to say we didn't expect this. Ooh, kRaSnaL will kill himself. He falls off a silo.
Yikes. That's not great. That's not great. Man advantage for the pistols, bro. Oh, interesting moves. Out behind is kRaD. He's gaining a lot of information. He's probably going to spot them in just a second here, but I don't think he'll be able to take anyone down at this range with the CZ. Oh. Oh, he's been seen. He's been seen, but he's got the information in at the very least. 1 minute and 5. They've got to deal with kRaD. Can't lose a player to him. Oh, God. DemQQ chasing him. That's close. That is so close from kRaD, but he will fall. Still, like I said, so much information to play with.
Does have to be said as well. And Monte are actually playing this quite well. When they know they're against pistols that are essentially moving as a pack, the best way to go about it is just to wait for them to overextend. They have to make a move that are forZe. They know when you've got the lesser firepower, you can't just play standard setups. You're going to be pulled apart. Bro, doing some good work. Has to be said. He's still a player in towards main, though, and that worries me about DemQQ. Could be caught off guard if he doesn't clear it. He does. Oh, but nearly. Not fully committed to it. Flash can come over. Tinner spotted. Tinner alone here. Towards backside. He's overrun, but he's going to find a kill before he falls. Oh, my God. This is still so dicey.
Very worried indeed for a moment there, but warRo will put those worries to bed. Gaining the 12th round. But you can see just every round it feels like Monte having to fight for. Last one came down to a clutch. That one comes pretty close considering it's the pistols. And now they are up against a very hefty buy here. forZe. Anything left in the back pocket? Anything interesting? Anything aggressive? Right? What is the change up? Or are they just going to try and stick to the tried and true that was working? A few rounds ago it was working.
Potentially could be the final round here. forZe have let this one slip just a tad. At least they have a buy to speak of. Gokashima in towards his favorite AWP. Had a very good debut game here for forZe too. 18 kills to his name. Isn't bad. Still, this map needs to be taken. We know what Monte can do on the rest of the pool. This is forZe's best chance of taking an advantage in the series. But overtime is going to be required if they are to do so. Map point for Monte on the opponent's map pick. They start this one off so damn quietly.
Yeah, not wasting any time, any space, and particularly any lives. What now, though, I think is the big question that we all have. It's difficult to figure out where to go, figure out what the correct avenue of attack will be. Only 30 seconds, though, now. This has been an incredibly uneventful round, considering we're 1.5 minutes in. They're going to start to pick up the pace, however. reSalt and Tinner coming through with kills of their own. Oh, goodness, not looking good at all. reSalt has just run amok from on top. Down to kRaSnaL, down to the overtime. Surely not. Yeah, he will fall through the smoke. 12-12. It took an awful lot of time, but we're in for the overtime. Looking forward to this for sure.
Yeah, got to be said as well. I mean, credit to forZe for seeing it off, but Monte are so unfortunate again not to be able to take this map away from them. I feel like they've done, again, the bulk of the buy rounds is where Monte have done their best work.
Sure. Imagine they convert that pistol, right?
Yeah, man. They've just been the better side when it comes towards these buy rounds. It's small, fine margins. And this is MR12 in a nutshell. No room for error. That forced buy win from forZe later down the line, kind of keeping them alive. Into OT. Now plays out like an MR15. These two sides so far inseparable, but this still feels like a must-win map for forZe.
Yeah, absolutely. Big moments here. Monte, I mean, they as you're saying, they did enough in regulation, it feels like. So just kind of continue through those motions, and this should be their map. forZe are the outliers still, unless the overtime has changed that. You know, the boost of cash, especially, it can have a pretty big effect on a lot of CT sides. So time will tell whether that's going to be the case or not. Down to the top of the garage. Or are we in secret? I can't quite tell from the minimap and the walls. I think they're just at the top of secret, aren't they? Yeah, chilling. Waiting to move down. Yeah. Waiting to move down. That's fair enough. I mean, playing it safe. Smoke going to fall from Shalfie here. That'll keep them at bay a little while longer. Only 30 seconds once again. Monte with the clock winders in the past few rounds.
DemQQ finds the opener, though. Tried to fall. Look at this build-up behind that smoke. Shalfie's surely in trouble here, but he actually makes a smart decision to just play a little bit further back. Technically inviting the pressure, but now he hears all the noise. Shalfie's got to line up a couple of bodies here. We'll find the first, but traded immediately.
Not bad at all. Oh my goodness, look how many kills just come in, though. All for that T side, particularly from DemQQ on the top side of things. But the bomb is going to get dropped at the opportune moment. No way that's how they win it. Gokashima with the well-timed frag. He'll lose his head just to add insult to injury, that it's like he doesn't care if he dies. He's won the damn round. Oh, absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But forZe, they will take any which way they find around. They're not bothered. Man, it is one of those rounds where you have to look towards Monte. How, again, to let that one slip. When the Gokashima finds that first kill from top ramp, nobody's looking to where that player dies. The bomb is just, you know, a lost quantity. Hence, you can see why they're fumbling around to find it and pick it up. He peeks in, finds a kill, and does not need to face until after time. Yes, he dies, but it doesn't matter. Gokashima's done enough. The debutant with a huge round to be taken there for forZe. 20 kills to his name. Joint top with Tinner as well. 2 new names, to be fair, in kind of the international scope. Of course, domestically speaking, they've been grinding for a while, but in terms of kind of the upper echelon of tier 2, we like to call it, putting up a really good performance for forZe. It's absolutely safe to say why these guys have been picked up. Monstrous performances from the primary AWPer and the secondary rifler. kRaSnaL does not to jump on towards top pop. Mollies are precarious, but sticking around for a fight. Hang on a second. Look how much space SDY's got. Yeah, this is a bit mad, isn't it? They're, like, taking the attention away from this area. It's a big change-up. It's a big change-up. They've been playing very slowly the past few rounds, and in this one, he's the guy that goes a lot faster. You see it sometimes, though, that outside sprint, as it were, as a bit of a conditioning test, but then he kind of throws the Molotov. He doesn't get, all right, super confident to move it down secret, but he's drawn Result. He finds the head there. Oh, nearly in for another. Surely the space created, though. Yeah, they were ready and waiting around that corner. Shalfie, good for one. Needed a little bit more. Still not totally out of the question for forZe, but obviously looking very good for Monte from here.
Molotov back in. Oh, playing in the flames there. Crad took a lot of damage. Shalfie can find a kill of his own. Now it does feel somewhat doable, as they both come in through main. Not taking fights if Monte, just buying time.
Lovely stuff from Crad. Waro, though, keeping things alive, of course, finds the first couple of bullets available for him. Molotov going to go down. Oh, difficult here. Still got to make that cross, though, Shalfie. Finds the frag. Unbelievable scenes. Another wild and almost impossible clutch coming through for forZe.
Well played. Really, really well played. 14 to 12. forZe are now doing enough, I think it's safe to say, to keep things alive and kicking for them. From what was a shaky tail end to regulation. 2 out of the last 2 taking an OT. They go 3 for 3. It kind of feels like Monte don't have a chance to stake a claim back in the game. Monte, they're their biggest adversary right now. It just seems to be starting out the halves quickly.
I know it's a bit difficult, isn't it? And going to again open up into this round. Will be a trade back from Gokushima, but you feel like they should be in a decent enough position. They're really liking this on top of mini smoke play as well. Just something that I don't really think I've seen an awful lot of in Go. It looks like the smoke is a little bit bugged. You know what I mean? That it's like falling below the roof of mini, and it also smokes off the top of mini. I don't know. Means that there's no presence in that area from the CTs, really.
Now, nice little space created for Monte at the very least. But in the forZe, this has been a thing for Monte. They've been, hang on, they've been finding the opening kills and losing the numbers advantage. Another prime example right here, kRaSnaL. Drops kRaSnaL. 4 versus 3 ensues. 45 seconds to speak of. Not a lot of time. It has to be said. For Monte to speak of. Yes, they've got decent map control. Isn't great. Gokushima's getting spammed through the floor. Just about stay alive. Messy fight on the way out. And I think we find ourselves now at a very interesting position. 14-13. Monte stay alive by it's a fine margin. Force the advantage in their court. At this sort of standpoint, it does start to get slowly but surely quite uncomfortable for Monte. Not a lot left in this game. Opponents 2 rounds away. This is a shaky situation to be in, to say the least. Gokushima, T-side opening. Not always the easiest, but he continues to have a very good debut here. Looking for a fight through main. Nobody opting to test him, however. Warro. 29 kills to his name. The European on the other side having a whale of a time in the server, but DemQQ's open things up. Krat to find himself dropped more or less immediately. No response to the trade 2 is going to make this all the more difficult. It all goes quiet too. Smoke over to a single door, but Monte numbers advantage. They've been in this position before. Let it slip. This time looks a lot more solid. Smoke onto a single. Re-smoke that beam. And DemQQ gets no tags. So no info to speak of, really. Does go quiet. 50 seconds. forZe still waiting for an overextension, waiting for a mistake. And they might get that overextension. DemQQ's going to tuck himself in towards hot. In comes a commit towards A. Backside SDY waiting for an opportunity. They're dropping down Ven. This would have been heard. The commitment's going towards B. forZe swinging out. Bro to find the first. kRaSnaL to step up. kRaSnaL finds the trade, but it might not be enough as kRaSnaL doubles down. Gokushima's all that's left. And unfortunately, the new boy on the block, he will not have the opportunity to shine here. Monte gonna tie this game up. 14 rounds apiece. Counter-terrorists win. That'll be that. Gokushima stays alive. But a simple ending to what was a pretty simple round. All things considered, this is a very good position now for Monte. It does give them that early momentum in towards the second half of OT number 1. And a 14-14 scoreline as well. forZe do need to be careful. 2 rounds all that Monte need to close out their map pick. 1 round apiece. We go double OT. Let's see if that's needed. Nade. Lead towards ramp. Nothing offering up just yet for bro. Definitely a little bit of quieter start than they would have hoped so far. warrow. So aggro. Here's the jump as well. Crad. This could cost him his life now. No quantity, and warrow is never missing those. Here's the opener. Drops that dirty bomb as well. Continues to have an incredible performance. Bro going to be tested. Flash will come over. Shalfie caught by it. Still some space gained here. This is not a bad position to be in. It's the ground for the fire will cost him his life. All of the space into a top ramp will net force a double entry in towards the B site. Rotations will come thick and fast though. One towards window, one towards single door. kRaSnaL tagged down low. DemQQ, it's so risky. He will fall on the edge of the smoke. Surely now, no chance for Monte. This is looking like a force round through and through unless Warrow's got something to say about it. 1v3 needed. Smoke comes through. Flash on the corner, looking for a fight as well, but he will fall to the hands of kRaSnaL. Map points forZe. Now a question of can they close it out this game. Continuing to deliver. Right in saying Monte do have attack pause left in the back pocket, but they're going to opt against it. Let's see. Only bits of util. Look at the call by Monte. This is so aggressive, so proactive. Blessing in terms of a space, but could be a curse in terms of if they lose these frags. The smoke might set a ruse here, but Warrow going to find the first. Warrow going to find the second as well. Bomb is dropped. He's traded out, but the space reclaimed here. kRaSnaL and kRaSnaL going to find one of their own. kRaSnaL steps up for yet another scrappy fight here in the tail end. 2 versus 2. What potentially could be the final round of the half. kRaSnaL and kRaSnaL waiting for a rotation. Nothing being given up just yet. kRaSnaL wait. kRaSnaL missed shot with the AWP. Second time of asking will find it now. Put himself thrust into a 1 versus 1. kRaSnaL versus kRaSnaL, the new boy. 4 fours to try and salvage this round, but he's an own quantity. kRaSnaL hears all of these steps as he goes down towards B. 35 seconds, has a smoke, will close the door as well and get that bomb planted. Where does kRaSnaL come from? That is the question. As kRaSnaL looks for the answer. Over towards ramp, nothing offering. Bomb is planted, nice and open too. So he can post up anywhere. Window heard, window seen, spotted the barrel above him as well. kRaSnaL's got the right idea. Surely, this should be enough. Waiting time is ticking. I don't think kRaSnaL's aware. Spotted, dropped, and kRaSnaL finds it. 16 to 14. What a finish to a miraculous map number 1. Brilliant work coming through. A kRaSnaL masterclass. And that'll be forZe final their map pick 16 to 14.
Yeah, I caught the end. A little bit of a hiccup on my my spot.